So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Patrick McClure. Have fun.
Thank you. Good morning, Vistage. I have a challenge for you this morning. All of you here have a vision. We just talked about that. We wrote them all down. All of you have a vision, but what happens if you go to share your vision and no one hears it? What happens if you do your best job sharing your presentation and no one gets it? It doesn't connect with anyone. What happens then? 80% of speakers, when asked to stand and deliver their speech or give a presentation, will lose their audience in the first 30 seconds. Let me explain why. I hold in my hand here a remote control device. With this little device, I can zap through about 800 channels in 2 minutes. Click, 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 click. About 3 seconds every one. I can whip through all those channels in no time at all. Almost every one of you here has a cell phone. I could ask, could anybody raise their hand if they don't have a cell phone, but I don't think I'd get anybody. You all have somebody there. Okay. You all have a cell phone. With these cell phones, we can text. Takes a couple seconds. We can whip through emails, 100 emails. You can go through 100 emails real fast. The average executive gets about 100 emails a day. We can surf the web. And oh my God, we can actually use the phone to make a phone call. The average internet web page is looked at for 6 seconds. The point is this: information comes to us fast. Bang, 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 bang. And in that crush of information, we have to select out, what do we want to listen to? So you, as a speaker, are asked to stand and deliver your speech, and the audience is judging you. Now, how much time, the National Speakers Association did a survey on this, how much time do you think you have before the audience decides to turn you on or turn you off? How much time? Did I hear 30? Correct answer, 30. They also did an analysis. What is the audience doing in that first 30 seconds? And they found 3 things, and you might want to write these down. This is what the audience is doing in the first 30 seconds of your speech. Number 1, they're evaluating. This speaker is different or not. Number 2, this speaker has something interesting and compelling that I want to listen to. And number 3, I'm not leaving. And that third is obviously the most important. Do you know audiences can sit there and look you straight in the eye, and they're a million miles away. They're not engaged. They're not listening. So your first job as a speaker is to grab the audience's attention. And the problem is most speakers go up on the podium and they wander around and they talk about, I don't know, their travel, how they got here, how they got invited, thanking the audience, apologizing for how terrible this is going to be. They don't get right to the point. So your number 1 tip, the first tip is get to the point and grab their attention with something interesting and compelling. Okay, so for the rest of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some tips to become a better speaker. Now, some of you in this audience are already professional speakers, and maybe I'll be able to add some to that. But the vast number of us, all of us, because I'm a Vistage member too, we speak occasionally. We don't do it for a living. So what I'm going to give you is 4 or 5 things that you can use to make your presentations come across with more impact and to get your vision communicated. Fair enough? Okay, let's move on. Okay, first off, you need to know your audience. You need to study your audience before you can do a speech. I'll give you an example of that. I was hired a while back by an organization called NAIFA, National Association of Insurance and Financial Agents. Now, I'm not an insurance salesman and I'm not a finance guy. So I asked them for a list of names, 5 people that were going to be in the audience. And I called them all up. And I said, what are your issues? What are your problems? What are you dealing with? And they told me. And I summarized it all. And so when I hit the stage with that audience, I came out on stage. I said, good morning. In our industry, we are dealing with the following issues. And this is the current status in our industry. Notice the use of the word our and us. Anytime you use the word our or us or we, you are including yourself in the audience. So what I did with that opening was I convinced them that I knew their industry, and I grabbed their attention right off the bat, and I moved forward. So I did that because I studied the demographics, and I knew my audience. So you need to know the educational level of the people in your room. Are they high school or college or grammar school? What is the average sex of the person? Average, I shouldn't say that. They're either male or female. Well, what's the composition? Are they kids? Or are they old? Are they attorneys? Are they school children? You know, the message might be different from attorneys or school children, I think. So, know what's important to them and incorporate that. So, know your audience is the first step. And it helps to pick up the right clicker. Okay, here we go. The second point, know your message. When you're going to give a speech, you absolutely need to know and write down in advance, what is your objective? Now, let me give you a clue on this. A way to back into this, if you don't know your objective, is ask yourself, what do you want the audience to do at the end of your speech? Do you want them to go out and buy your book? Do you want them to tell everybody what a great speaker you were? Do they want you to sign up for your seminar? What do you want them to do? And that's incorporated into your objective. And then your sub-objectives are all included in that. So everything that you say, your stories, your examples and everything, it ties in to the main objective. And it's cohesive, it's clear, it's direct, and it's profound. Do that with your messaging. Okay, deliver with energy and enthusiasm. I can't tell you how many times I talk to people that are speaking, and the business speaker, the typical business speaker, goes up to the podium and he reads, 7 years ago, R44. Same tone of voice, same volume, and he puts the audience to sleep. You know, speakers can hypnotize an audience. Have you ever sat in an audience and you go, what did that person say at the end, right? Well, the audience or the speaker succeeded in hypnotizing you. So what I encourage you to do is change the pace, change the rhythm, change the speed, mix it up, add emotions. One of the best ways I know to do that is add body motion. Professional actors and actresses stand in front of a mirror and they practice their vocal variety and they practice the expressions on their face and also their body motion. If you're giving a speech about pitching a baseball, I want you to pitch the baseball. If you're talking about sailing a ship, I want you to sail the ship. If you're playing golf, I want you to use body motion to emphasize. So add energy and pizzazz to your speech, and the results will pay for it. Okay, connect with your audience. Connect with your audience. Now, that's easy to say, but how exactly do you do that? Think about the best speakers that you've ever heard. In my mind, I think about John Kennedy. I think about Martin Luther King. I think about Ronald Reagan. All of these speakers, when you were in their audience, you had this eerie feeling that they were talking to you and to you only. And everyone else in the audience felt the same way. Now, how is that possible? They knew one of the biggest secrets of public speaking. And this is probably the number one thing that you need to remember. You never speak to an audience. You always speak to one person at a time in the audience. And you connect with that one person. And when you do that, you don't ignore the rest of the audience. The rest of the audience is included. So remember to connect with your audience. And when you do that, there's a term here calling having an intimate conversation. That means make it personal, make it face-to-face, and connect with that one person, kind of mano a mano, or whatever the term is, female to female, but connect with that person. Okay, and involve the audience as a result. Okay, so to summarize, Tips for today for your speaking. And all of you speak regularly to your executive team, to your board of directors, to your customers, to your salespeople, to your executives, whatever. Everything that you do is a speech. Remember, grab their attention, number one, right off the bat. Don't waste that first 30 seconds. Remember your audience. Remember your message. And remember to connect. And this conference is all about leadership and vision. One of the visionary leaders that I've studied under is the founder of Toastmasters International, Dr. Ralph Smedley. And he had this to say. He said, "The well-balanced, intelligent speaker is the natural leader of any group of which he is a part." So I encourage you today, as you get out there, go forth, speak, and lead. Thank you.
Patrick, thank you very much. Wise words. Thank you.